couple of crashes, and now something's going on. Something's rubbing, like I have like a brake on it. My poor aero bar.
Yeah, I get to do this as a living. I get to do this as my job. I love it. There's nothing I'd rather be doing. I get up every day and I love the training. I love pushing myself. I love the puzzle of what the best preparation is en route to an event, what's going to get me there the best. And yeah, it's a constant working kind of equation of, okay, did this work? I need to shift here, I need to improve this. And yeah, it's just this ongoing process. And sometimes races don't go well and it can seem like this massive disappointment, and it is. It's a huge disappointment. It's a huge letdown. It's a huge like I can't believe it went that way. I put in all this work, or I trained this hard and I saw it going so differently. And just because you train hard doesn't mean you're entitled to any result. That's racing. But yeah, you have to take that disappointment and sit with it and feel how bad it feels, because it's those moments, you know, the 48 hours after Mid-South where you're just like banging your head, like, what just happened? That's not how I saw it going. I'm pissed, I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm disappointed. But those are the things that now fuel me for the next month ahead, to put in the work that needs to get put in to make a better day possible at another event coming up.
We're here with Heather Jackson. We are at the infamous mud hole at Mid-South Gravel. And Heather, you've done this race before.
I did this last year.
You did this last year. How did we turn out? How in this section?
This section.
No problem?
I did the single track around. Did not
Excellent.
send it through.
You're gonna go the single track around, and then
I think so.
It still has a pretty decent hole on the other side as well. You guys all comfortable?
Yeah.
With that stuff, no problem.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
How are
single
the-
track is the
How are the
choice.
legs?
Legs feel good. Yeah, just we got in late last night, so just first day out now, reconning and seeing what we have ahead on Saturday. Just waiting until it's a reasonable time to start warming up. But yeah, I like to get here early so we're not stressed. Get parking, get everything ready.
Are you nervous?
Yes, I'm nervous, but I think we're far enough out right now that I'm not too crazy nervous yet. Check in 30 minutes.
Prior to the start of the race, I was just really trying to keep my nerves as kind of quelled as possible. Just the waiting is always the hardest part. The minutes before the gun actually goes, because your mind is just racing, you're nervous, just all the different emotions are going, and you're not actually riding yet. So I was just trying to stay calm, not spend too much energy worrying and being anxious and nervous. So yeah, I mean, we got there super early so that I could get a good warm-up in, and then make sure I got near the front of the start line. That's a huge thing with these races, is getting there early enough so you can be up front. So got up front at the start line and just Yeah, I was chatting with a couple of the guys around me, but I mean, mostly I was just thinking about the start that was coming, the first kind of hour of the race.
In this present moment, in this present, no person and no thing on this earth can or should decide it for you. Do not let the present be less than what is done or less of what is to come. It is the greatest present we shall ever receive.
Yeah, I mean, those first 10 miles or so were as hectic and crazy as I remember last year. I mean, dust is just flying everywhere. You can't really see much at all. Rocks are flying up. It is high speed at that point because, again, it's early, everyone's fresh, everyone's trying to stay up as close to the front as they can. So it was really, yeah, a pretty crazy start to the race. I was happy with my positioning early on, but unfortunately, before the water crossing, I was 3 or 4 wheels back from a guy who slid out into the left corner before the water crossing, and yeah, I went down. First crash of the day. I kind of, unfortunately couldn't avoid it and went down. My bike got pretty beat up. I slid out on my left side, and I also lost contact with that group that I had worked so hard to kind of be in and be a part of. So
let's go, Heather!
After I went down right before the water crossing, I got up. I was pretty pissed, frustrated, riding angrily, kind of trying to chase back on. I knew the group of women I had been with prior to going down was who I wanted to be with. They were the group that went on to get 4th through 10th on the day. So chased super hard, got back up to that group. I was still positive at that point of the day, but I was definitely frazzled. Probably, definitely forgetting some of the other things I needed to be focused on, fueling for the day ahead, because I was just chasing hard to get back up there. So recontacted with that group, but again, right before the halfway point, there's this off-road kind of grassy dirt area we get directed into, and entering that section, another crash right in front of me. So I didn't exactly go down hard, but it did disconnect me from that group of girls again, and again had to go back into chase mode, trying to just get back up to them for the second time on the day.
What happened?
Couple of crashes, and now something's going on.
After that happened, it was right before the feed zone, and I had sight of that group that I had been in, and I thought to myself, okay, maybe they're gonna all slow a little bit and grab feed, grab packs, and then regroup together, and I thought this could be my chance to get back up to them if I just go all in, put an effort in here, and hopefully they kind of let up a tiny bit, then I could maybe make contact again. So I made the decision to skip the feed zone in hopes of getting back up, and that would also come back to bite me a little bit later as well. So yeah, just I think mistakes on the day that led to an eventual overall tough day out there.
There's a group.
Something's rubbing. Like I have like a brake on.
It was a big mistake in the end, because I faded as kind of my energy wore out in the later hours of the day, but in the moment I had felt my hydration pack, and I still had quite a bit in there, and I still had 2 bottles on my bike. I had overestimated nutrition and electrolytes I would need on the day, thinking about last year's race at Mid-South. It was super hot, and I remember needing lots of electrolytes and hydration out there. And so I had already kind of overplanned, and race day this year was a lot cooler, cloudy, cloud coverage. And so in my mind, it wasn't that big of an ask to skip the second hydration pack. I still had half left and I still had 2 bottles, but I didn't think about, I think, the extra efforts I had put in chasing back on twice and the caloric needs there and all of the energy I'd expended. So yeah, it's one of those you can look back and critique, obviously. So
See you at the finish line?
See you there.
Good.
I think the biggest difference between last year and this year was just, I guess, the energy I spent at the start of this race working as hard as I did to try to get into one of those front groups, and then the crash, the 2 crashes, and the 2 chase efforts I had to put in trying to get back up to certain groups, knowing those were where the women were that I wanted to be with and wanted to be racing with, versus last year I didn't have a great start. Technically, I was pretty far back, and I basically just time trialed through the field as people kind of melted in the heat last year, I think. Different things like that. So it was a completely different race in terms of effort put out, and just the style of kind of 3 or 4 really big efforts this year versus kind of a steady 5-hour, almost time trial like ride last year.
Yes! Heather Jackson! Let's go!
Eat it! It's a little bit bad. I just felt like I was chasing all day. Had a couple of mechanical things I was struggling with after that crash that I think just bent a few things. So just a tough battle just to get to the finish today.
Yeah, I mean, I look back to Jan 1st, and I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I think the work I did all winter long, December and January, has played a role and will play a role. I'm seeing progress with kind of that high intensity change of speed work on the bike, and now it's just bringing in some other elements of the fitness equation and continuing to learn on the tactical side. But I'm not panicked with how the first couple of things have gone. It's early March. My goals are 3 months from now, and I'll use what I've learned and build from there off of the training I did bank in the winter, and seeing now what also needs to come into play. So yeah, just learning and moving forward and taking those lessons and going from there. I try not to think like too far ahead of, okay, I'm looking forward to this in June. I'm looking forward to today, this moment, putting the work in today and tomorrow, and putting my head down right now. And I mean, you asked, do I love what I do? And I enjoy the process, and I enjoy every single day. And for me, it's about enjoying that day to day, because yeah, tomorrow, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Something could happen today, and that's that. So just what I'm looking forward to is having those goals on the horizon. Those are the things that give me things to work towards today. But what I'm looking forward to is each day I get to wake up and live a day of nothing I'd rather be doing than training hard and trying to get better as an athlete and as a person.